You've seen this before, right? Maybe in a science class or a cartoon. You take a lemon, stick a couple of wires in it, and poof, a tiny light bulb starts to glow. But is that just a cool trick, or is there some real science behind it? Well, let's find out. So that's the big question, isn't it? Can a piece of fruit actually generate electricity? Or is it just one of those fun science myths we all grow up with? The answer? Well, it's all about what's going on inside the fruit. Okay, let's start with the basics. Can a fruit really act as a power source? Turns out, it is absolutely not a myth. And the secret ingredient? It's citric acid. That sour juice inside certain fruits creates the perfect chemical environment to get some electricity flowing. And this leads us to a really interesting prediction. The more acidic the fruit, the more power you can get out of it. So a super sour lemon should, in theory, blow a sweet apple right out of the water. Let's see if that actually holds up. But to really get why a lemon works so well, we have to dig into the science of how a fruit battery actually works. So what's the science behind that little spark? It all comes down to a little something called an electrolyte. In our fruit battery, the acidic juice is the electrolyte. Think of it like a highway that allows an electric current to travel from one point to another. But of course, a highway needs some traffic, right? And that traffic, a flow of electrons, gets created when you stick two different types of metal into the fruit, like a copper penny and a zinc nail. The acid starts a chemical reaction with the metals, which gets electrons jumping from one to the other. And that's it. That simple combination of two different metals and an electrolyte is a basic battery. It's called a voltaic cell. So it's not that the lemon has electricity hiding inside it, it's that its chemistry helps create it when you add the right ingredients. Now that we've got the science down, let's get our hands dirty. How do you actually build one of these things? You'll be surprised how easy it is. The parts list is pretty simple. You need a fruit, obviously. For your two metals, an everyday copper coin and a zinc-coated nail work perfectly. Then you just need some wires and something to test it with, like a small LED light or a voltmeter to measure the current. And the process couldn't be simpler. First, you stick the nail and the coin into the fruit. The key is to make sure they don't touch each other inside. Then you connect one wire to the nail and one to the coin. Attach the other ends to your little device, and you should be in business. Okay, the experiment is all set. We've got our batteries ready to go. Now for the moment of truth. Was our prediction right? Is the super acidic lemon really the champion here? Well, the results are in, and yep, the hypothesis was spot on. The experiment proved it. The more acidic fruits really do create a stronger electrical current. So the lemon, with its super high citric acid content, created a much more effective electrolyte. That led to a stronger flow of electrons and, you guessed it, more electricity. The less acidic apple just couldn't keep up. The main takeaway here is simple. More acid equals more power. So one lemon can light up a tiny bulb. That's a really cool experiment. But what happens when you stop thinking small? What happens when you scale this idea way, way up? That's the real question, isn't it? A single lemon gives you just a tiny bit of voltage. But we know from basic electronics that if you connect batteries together in a series, their voltages add up. So could you actually build something powerful out of lemons? Just look at that number, over 2,300 volts. To give you some perspective, that is way more powerful than a standard wall outlet. And this was all generated by fruit. Yep, in 2021, a team set a new Guinness World Record for the highest voltage from a fruit battery. And how'd they do it? By wiring up almost 3,000 lemons all in a row. They took that simple classroom project and turned it into a record-shattering power source. And that really brings us to our final thought. We've seen that a humble lemon holds the chemical key to creating electricity. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we can literally get power from a fruit, what other amazing sources of bioenergy are just sitting all around us, waiting to be discovered?